the Rome. It's Chrysanthus, and today I'm going to run down my top 3 ways to find a theme camp at Burning Man, especially if you're a virgin burner, meaning this is your first burn. I would absolutely not recommend trying to camp by yourself for your first burn. It can be very disorienting unless you have an RV filled with experienced burners with you. I would recommend going with a camp. Trying to figure out food, water, cooking and heat, and it's too much. And I also believe that it is safer to go with a camp. So today I will be breaking down how to best find a camp that suits you and your interests, your needs, what you bring to the table, etc. But if you've already decided that you definitely want to go to Burning Man and you are ready to start the preparation process, please check out this playlist, Black Rock City Living, for more BRC tips and prep. And be sure to stay for the end of the video where I give my #1 way to find a camp at Burning Man. If you get a kick out of this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. You can also connect with the Realm on Instagram and TikTok at Chrysanthus. Please feel free to drop any questions in the comment section, or feel free to DM and support me on my Patreon page. So, before we hop into requirements that you have of theme camps, we are going to be hopping into what theme camps require of you. And just an aside, if you're already familiar with all of the things you need to contribute, feel free to skip ahead in the chapter redirections.
This channel was made possible by contributions from Patreon patrons and subscribers like you. Thank you.
Number 1. You must have enough energy and time to contribute to volunteer duties. This could look like a cleaning thing, a cooking thing, volunteering in playa gift creation. There is a vast variety, a spectrum of how you can volunteer with your camps. But if you have it in your mind that you don't want to volunteer and you just want to go and be at Burning Man and reap the benefits and all that, that experience does not exist. That is what we call plug and play. And plug and play, pay to play sort of experiences are being yeeted out of Burning Man. So even if you do think that you're signing up for one of those experiences, and this has happened a lot in recent years, Burning Man will pull the plug on your camp and you will no longer have a camp. Once they are revealed to be pay to play, everybody's got to contribute. So if that doesn't really vibe for you, if that's not what you're feeling, then hey, Burning Man might not be the place for you. It's not for everybody. Last year, my camp had a lot of issues with people coming and not showing up for their volunteer duties. This creates a burden for everybody else to carry that you do not want to contribute your lot to the group. And it's just not a good time. It's not a good time. So be ready to volunteer. Typically, it's something like 3 one-hour shifts, but it could be more or less depending. And if you don't have the ability to physically volunteer, then most camps are able to help you figure out some solution around volunteering in a non-physical way. Secondly, the money. You must be able to pay camp dues prior to coming on playa. What do camp dues cost? Well, you know, your camp covers your shade structure, your food, your water, etc., a shower, all that good stuff. Hopefully. I have seen camp dues fall anywhere from $420, if you know, you know, to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, okay? And it's not always the camps with the most amenities that are the most expensive, okay? Sometimes I've seen a camp with very few amenities have an extremely expensive art car. So everybody has to pay in money for the use of that car or a mutant vehicle, something like that. And so a lot of the times camp dues don't actually reflect amenities. So that's a reason why it's a good idea to figure out the amenities while you're doing this research. 3, do your research. Once you know what you can offer to a camp, it's a good idea to figure out what camp is going to work best for you. You're going to want to do research on offerings and make note on what you personally need to have a successful burn. For example, a shower is not that big of a deal to me because we can all get a foam home shower. So my first burn, I had to bring my own shower. So I brought a little solar shower, but My second burn and my third burn were at a camp with a shared shower situation. I mean, like an actual shower. So figure out what's a must-have and what's a nice-to-have. Speaking of nice-to-haves, some of these camps out here got straight up saunas. I mean, some of these camps have amenities. Like, I feel more pampered camping at Burning Man than staying at most of the hotels that I've stayed at in my time. Like, these camps have the potential for just a top shelf environment. So if you have restroom needs, you know, some camps have their own toilet, some camps have their own porta. I've never camped at a camp with my own porta potty before, unfortunately, and I suffered dearly for it last year because our placement was farther away from porta potties than I've ever camped before. It was bad. Lastly, part of this research includes asking folks who have camped with this camp what their experience in the past has been. You know, the best indicator of future behavior is present in past behavior. This is especially important if you're a solo femme burner like myself. Last, you're gonna wanna get an idea of the amenities, the general vibe, if there was any group conflict that came up and how that was resolved. Did this camp feel like it was properly prepared? Were there any things that came up, like a massive dust storm on build week? Just random example that set the camp back and the people were technically not so much to blame. And I know that happened last year and I don't fault anybody for it because I was at build week 2 and that was absolutely a near-death experience for me. But anyways, figure out the entire gist of the camp before you decide on a camp that is ready to take you. And while we are seeking out this information, I do have to get a bit into Burning Man scams because, and I'm pulling this up right now, unfortunately, in recent years, there have been people scamming online for Burning Man tickets, Burning Man camps, all that kind of stuff, and people have lost hundreds and hundreds of dollars because of it. So, if you go on Facebook, you will be able to find this. Every year after Burning Man, people come with their stories of being scammed at the burn. Not just my tickets didn't work or I bought scam tickets, but additionally, people think they're signing up for a camp. They pay thousands and thousands of dollars. When they show up, all they have is basically a flimsy shade structure, no system for trash, no system for water, no food, nothing that they were promised. And they're basically left to fend for themselves if they want to stay in Black Rock City. So it's very important that you burn either with an established camp or a camp led by veterans and folks, people who have a solid experience with burning and safety. Both of those things, not one or the other, but both. So that's how we're gonna avoid scams. Also, this is a good thing to note. A lot of the people scammed for Burning Man tickets and Burning Man camps are European. So a lot of y'all might not know how things work around here, okay? Americans, we are very litigious and we are very scammy, okay? So please proceed with caution. It's my understanding that a lot of these scams are targeting European burners specifically and international burners specifically because y'all don't have an understanding of what an American scam looks like, whereas we can see that stuff for miles away. And that's not a character judgment. That's just like, you know what you know, you don't know what you don't know. Now, let's hop into the ways to find a Burning Man theme camp that's a fit for you. My number 4 suggestion for finding a theme camp at Burning Man would be to look up these 2 websites. The first one is going to be burningman.org/events/camps, where you can make inquiries to theme camps, asking whatever you need to ask and if they have extra space. Or you can reach out using this website, eplaya.burningman.org. Another one is spark.burningman.org. And these are some resources that Burning Man officially offers to get in touch with camps, do research on camps, and find camps. My number 3 way to find a Burning Man camp is going to be the forums. So, what do I mean by the forums? I'm talking Reddit. I'm talking Burning Man forums. Just one additional resource, the Matchmaker, Camps, and Campers section of Burning Man Hive. Reddit also has some awesome posts with further information on how to find a camp. My number 2 way to find Burning Man camps, and I think this might be the easiest way personally, is to use Facebook groups. Haven't heard that word in a long time. Facebook groups are wonderful to find local camps. They can connect you with your local burner community. There are everything from, some of the Facebook groups I'm on are like the 630 Burning Man sector, like my Burning Man neighborhood, the DMV Burners Facebook group, Black Burners Facebook group, Black DMV Burners Facebook group. I'm telling you, if there is a niche, there's a Facebook group for it, okay? Like probably hundreds of burner Facebook groups exist, and these folks are all looking for people to fill their camp or may have a connection for you for another camp. I always recommend camping with a local camp because then again, you can get in contact and connect with folks after the burn, make new friends in the outside world. And yeah, there are just so many benefits to camping with a local camp, speaking as a DC burner, because we are able to make use of the shipping container and so many great things. Yeah, it's so great to continue a relationship off playa, whether that's virtual or whether that's in your own neck of the woods. So just consider all that when looking for a camp. Obviously, if you're traveling internationally, that's not as much of an option, but hey, maybe it is. All right, my number 1 way to find a camp at Burning Man is to simply connect with your local burner community and ask around. This is an IRL approach. This is grassroots. We're on the ground. We're doing the work. Okay, this is how I have personally always found my camps. I've been fortunate enough to have friends who are burners, but if you don't have any friends who are burners, maybe you have a friend of a friend that you can ask. And what is great about this method is that you are able to vet. So one mutual you have might be able to vouch for somebody. That's not the experience that you're gonna get on a Facebook page or a Reddit, unless you have mutual friends, okay? And people can tell you like, oh yeah, these folks are super legit. They've been in the game for 30 years. They can give you that more personable element to it. And this can also be asking around virtually. So let's say you're not seeing these people IRL, texting a friend, DMing a friend, asking a friend like, hey, I need help. I know you eat edible paper and probably know a few burners. How can we help me? How can we help me?
But it's time now to talk about what we've learned today.
Yeah, just be sure to put on that thinking cap, utilize stranger danger. Very important. Remember, there are a lot of scammers out here. There are a lot of good old-fashioned fire festers out here trying to scam you for all you're worth. But on the other side of things, there are wonderful people and great communities of burners, and you will find your community as soon as you are able to get there. And you might even find that community prior to getting there. Maybe you join a Facebook group for virgins, maybe you're able to start those connections. So exercise caution, but also exercise love and friendship and kindness and all that good stuff. I'd say the majority of people who are selling tickets in spaces at camp are not out to get you, but a small amount of people are, and they can be very convincing. So there are more friends to be made than scams to be scammed. I hope you have a wonderful time out in the dust. And if you have any questions about finding a camp, please be sure to write them in the comment section. You can also DM me on Patreon and get with the realm on Instagram and TikTok at Chrysanthus. You can find this trippy merch on my Threadless shop, and I've recently launched a line of metaphysical journals now available on Amazon, including a trip journal. So that's all for today. I hope this video is able to help you find your dream theme camp, and let me know how it goes. Don't forget to keep it trippy. Peace.